Leon sat in the shadowy room, endlessly grumbling about the game, reluctantly clearing it in front of my sweet sister. The day before, his dear sister threatened to reveal his secrets to their mother, so Leon had no choice but to agree. He was just a lowly office worker, hunched over his desk 7 days a week, using his rare vacations to grind through this Otomi game. It left him utterly drained, with a tangled story and tough levels that kept Leon up night after sleepless night. Meanwhile, his sister enjoyed carefree getaways on a small island, oblivious to her brother's exhausting grind for glory. After endless struggles, Leon finally completed the game. Days of non-stop grinding had worn him to the bone. Now, his stomach growled fiercely, so he dragged his weary body out to buy food, but he barely made it before tumbling down the stairs in a tragic fall. Yet, Leon couldn't accept it. He opened his eyes again, and the world had completely changed. He wasn't in heaven or hell, but lying in a vast grassy field under drifting clouds and gentle winds. Even his own body felt foreign to him. Before he could recover, a powerful punch struck him out of nowhere. The person scolded, "You've wandered off on such an important day." Leon could only stammer an apology. Before him stood a young couple, and an arrogant woman they called Lady Zora. She was haughty and overbearing, making everyone endure her scolding with bowed heads. From the situation, these two seemed to be Leon's parents. Not only that, but his mother was the concubine, while that woman was the first wife. Back in their rundown shack, converted from a storage room, he asked his brother, "Why do those two kids live in the main house while we don't?" His brother replied, "Isn't it because Lady Zora hates us?" He added, "We're sons of the concubine, and it's normal to be treated this way." He warned, "If you don't study hard, you won't get married when you enter the academy. Or if you become an elf or beastkin, you might end up as a consort." Leon stared in surprise. "MP sounds so familiar. What about a man's status?" his brother answered. "Such a thing doesn't exist in this world." In that shocking moment, Leon flipped through his study book, recognizing the familiar logo, realizing he had reincarnated into the Otomi game world. Time flew by, and soon 10 years had passed. The Batford family didn't exist in the game, meaning Leon was just a background character. Naturally, like everyone thought, he could use his game knowledge to become unbeatable. He noted down game info and trained diligently every day, but the longer he lived in this small village, the more his ambitions faded away. He felt being a minor character was a peaceful choice. Until one day, bad news hit. He had to meet the daughter of a noble court family, indebted to Lady Zora. Worse, she was over 50, had married 7 times, and all 7 husbands had died. Clearly, it was all about the inheritance money. Lady Zora excused it as all accidents. Leon tried to convince her to let him find a wife at the academy, but she refused. The first 2 are already in school, sending the 3rd would be too expensive. His father agreed. The family relied on the wealthy wife, with no money to spare for Leon's education. Prejudices here mirrored the real world, except genders were reversed. Lady Zora left him no escape. If he didn't marry, she'd send him to the military to die on the battlefield. Leon thought for a moment and remembered a way to make money. Before being pulled into this world, he had bought some in-game skins. Now, no one else knew about them. He felt a bit guilty, but decided he'd make it up to the main character later. After a light battle with a monster, he found the teleport gate. The wooden boat couldn't withstand the whirlpool's force, shattering and sweeping Leon into the vortex, dropping him into the forest below. The scene matched the game perfectly. Based on his memory, there was something valuable inside. If it was a weapon or magic ammo, that would be ideal. First, Leon easily defeated an iron guard and entered. He saw 2 skeletons. Even in the game, humans couldn't escape death. He quietly took the ID card and delved deeper into the secret chamber. By chance, Leon encountered the MT Guardian. It detected him and attacked fiercely. Leon tried using the ID to bluff his way through, but nothing matched the records, so he had to fight the massive metal machine physically. He pulled the pin on a grenade and threw it. Surprisingly, it activated a magic shield instead. Now it was even harder to deal with. He threw another one. This time it was a regular explosive, catching the enemy off guard. It grabbed Leon and asked, "What year is it in the new calendar?" With no answer, he was zapped by electricity, convulsing in pain. The robot said its mission was to eliminate humans. The old humanity was extinct, and Leon was from the new kind. Either way, it would kill them all, as that was its duty. Leon quietly drew his earth sword from his belt and thrust it forward, turning the tide in an instant. The blade pierced the robot's core, shutting down its systems. He had won, and claimed the battleship. The ship spoke, insisting it couldn't be stolen by new humans. But after scanning his fingerprint on the console, he gained access. It turned out he had blood from both old and new humanity. Leon named the system Elson. Then, he collapsed from exhaustion. 3 months later, Lady Zora thought he was dead. While his parents held on to hope, she mocked them. Until they heard a noise outside. It was Leon. He returned triumphantly on a massive flying ship, with piles of gold trailing behind. He proudly rejected the arranged marriage and planned to enter the academy. Everything flowed smoothly like a gentle stream. Leon watered the plants, his heart light and free. He recalled Lady Zora's stunned face. That day it was more satisfying than anything. In her twisted expression he found pure joy. Not only that, Leon discovered a vast, uninhabited island perfect for a future baron's estate, turning it into a resort with hot springs. The construction was going smoothly, set to finish in a few months. All that was left was finding a spouse and living out his days in peace. It was a flawless plan. Sadly, it didn't happen. He was granted the title of Baron for discovering an uncharted domain and a flying island. Though it was just in his local area, Leon was stunned by this harsh reality. Even choosing that title didn't bring peace. He had to marry someone of high status, just like Zaso. Hearing that name felt like a gate to the underworld. Leon couldn't even smile. Before savoring life's sweetness, he was already planning for thorns. Standing before the academy, identical to the game, Leon would study noble etiquette and adventure knowledge for 3 years. There was also magic and his final marriage prospect. The game's timeline had begun, and in this world, men held little status. He watched a haughty lady scold her servants, while the male students kept their heads down. Leon sighed, longing to go home. The heroine's harem had arrived, each with colourful hair like a blooming garden, oddly irritating. Lady Redgrave appeared too, the most villainous character in the game, Angelica, daughter of the Duke, second only to the royals. He wondered how they'd clash, but as a commoner, his duty was to stay out of it. No need to care more. While yawning through the boring entrance ceremony, Leon spotted a girl whipping a harem member. This was the game's opening scene. The dialogue was exact, but the girl wasn't the heroine. He felt like he'd seen her somewhere before. Leon made friends with 2 guys at the academy, Daniel on his right and Rayon on his left. Soon, each would host tea parties, all just to flatter the girls for marriage, but it depended on who attended, since princes and nobles made it tougher. The 3 gazed at the courtyard, where female students surrounded the main harem character Julius. Angelica approached, wanting to talk privately because it was too noisy. Just then, that girl from earlier appeared. Julius ignored Angelica and invited the other to his tea party. Angelica was furious, protested, but was reminded and reluctantly apologized. How strange this scene was meant for the heroine, not this girl named Mary. The girl named Mary in class as the teacher spoke. In class, the teacher lectured endlessly about the importance of tea party etiquette. He said a tea party reflects the host's character, so it must be formal. Learn to speak properly. Leon wasn't paying attention, so the teacher called him out. Seeing his indifference, the teacher made him demonstrate. A second ago, Leon was waiting boredly. The next second, witnessing this masterful display, tears welled up as he was moved by the respected teacher. He called out teacher, then master, vowing to host a wonderful tea party like him. At his tea party, candies and treats were abundant, all prepared by Leon himself. Not long ago he wanted to hire help, but after his teacher's words, he did it all by hand. The girl he invited was the second daughter of the Duke. Hearing the bell, Leon quickly opened the door, shocked to find she brought friends and servants. She was supposed to go to Brad's tea party, but since it was later, they stopped by to kill time. Leon was speechless, watching the 4 girls devour the food and leave as if nothing happened. Leon fell into thought. Suddenly, voices in the hallway. Students were bullying a girl for being invited to the prince's tea party. It was Olivia, the heroine of this world. Though he didn't want to interfere with the game's plot, seeing Olivia quietly picking up scattered papers tugged at his conscience. He invited her to his small tea party. Olivia said softly, while eating cake, "This is the most delicious thing I've ever tasted." Leon's emotions clashed like thunder. Remembering how those girls treated his heartfelt party as trivial. Facing this innocent girl, he realized he had wrongly judged her as scheming. Olivia was here just to learn. The hidden rules of magic or regulations, she knew nothing about them. He reassured her not to fear. Leon had a friend who could help with such matters. Olivia perked up and arranged to meet that friend in the courtyard. Usually she just asked him for money, so now it was time to be useful. Jenna asked Olivia if she'd met any outstanding people in class. But of course not. The popular ones were always surrounded. How could she approach? Jenna suggested targeting a key person in the group and giving them a gift. Call it a discreet introduction, but it's basically bribery, as long as it works. For gifts, buy famous sweets or candies. Hearing famous, Olivia turned pale. She didn't have that much money for gifts. She had no such money for gifts. Leon volunteered to pay for it. Angelica accepted Olivia's gift, as long as she knew her place. The lady wouldn't mind letting her sit alone in a corner. Olivia innocently asked, "Does that mean I can stay in the academy?" Angelica waved her hand, dismissing the others. Olivia should have just nodded and left, but her words made things awkward. Angelica never intended to expel Olivia. She wasn't involved from the start and despised bullying or violence. Olivia realized her mistake and bowed in apology. Angelica's gaze softened. Better this way. That girl was always chasing the prince. She asked who advised Olivia on making friends. It was Leon. In truth, he wasn't invisible in this world. They knew him for earning the Baron's title through his own strength. He was impressive. Impressive. She thought someone capable would eventually need Olivia. Leon and Olivia were in practical class together. The two of them were left alone in the session, leaving him as her only protector in this dangerous place. He was like a shield for the royals, to be used or discarded at will. What heartless people. Their task was to collect ore from the third basement level. Before they could start, arguments broke out. Angelica scolded Mary for being selfish. Julia stepped in to defend her. They argued back and forth. Leon asked Olivia if she knew about Mary. She replied that Mary was the daughter of a poor viscount and had been bullied even more lately. Murmurs grew louder. Julius angrily shouted, "Everyone be quiet!" The heroine's harem rallied around to defend him. In the end, Julius took Mary and left, leaving Angelica feeling hurt and silent. The two set off to mine ore. Olivia wondered about the treasures buried here, but Leon had no interest. He reminded himself not to get too close to the heroine. After all, he was just a background character, wanting a peaceful life. His big role was to be the shield leading the way. So, no one else had come besides them. Soon, Leon encountered a nest of giant spiders. Olivia wanted to go back for help, but Leon stopped her. No one would come anyway. Better to save your strength for the fight. That sword, forged by Luxon, should be tested to see if it truly holds its edge. With a few swift strikes, he brilliantly wiped out the horde of beasts. It seemed like everything was over, but it wasn't. Out of nowhere, a monster lunged out, attacking Olivia. Thanks to Leon shielding her, she escaped unharmed. In return, he got bitten on the arm. At the same time, a swarm of demons appeared. The two innocents were lost amid the monsters, bracing for the worst. Then the male leads arrived, striking heroic poses that shone like beacons of hope. Leon scoffed lightly. Arriving late and still acting like champions of justice, who's that for? Only after trading barbs did they finally cast their spells. Julius got wounded. Mary quickly used healing magic on him. Ang also came to check on him caringly, but ended up bumping into Mary. Seeing that, Julius shoved Ang aside and took Mary's hand, leading her away. The antagonist was left behind amid the whispers. The crowd, including Olivia, paid little mind, only worrying about Leon's bleeding wound as she used her magic. She possessed healing powers. Olivia proudly said, "Thanks to this, I got into the academy." The next morning, in his private room, Angelica stood face to face with Julius. Under his accusing questions, she felt deeply wronged. That bag was clearly not burned by her. Why blame it all on her? Seeing no remorse in Angelica, Julius warned, "Stay away from me and Mary." The scene shifts to Raymond, frustrated over not finding anyone for his tea party. The people he aimed for were just polite, with no real affection. Nothing progressed. The three changed topics to discuss Angelica and Julius. They heard the prince was furious. Leon found it strange. This happened much earlier than expected. Was some factor altering the game's plot? Leon and Olivia sat in the library. He asked her about Mary. Hearing him constantly inquire about another girl, Olivia thought he liked Mary. Leon was shocked, blurting out, "Not at all, I can't stand her." Olivia didn't hesitate and told him everything. Though they'd only spoken once, when Olivia saw Mary alone and asked how she was, she got a scorching glare and the words, "I hate people like you." Nothing more after that. Suddenly, Leon heard a noise behind the bookshelves and went to check. It wasn't nosiness on Leon's part. It's just that who dates whom could mean life or death for him. Olivia trailed behind, trying to stop him, but it didn't matter. What they saw was Mary and the guy with the pompadour hair kissing passionately in the empty library. Olivia was surprised. Leon quickly covered her mouth to keep her quiet. Mary touched her lips, skipped joyfully down the hall and sighed. This place is wonderful to live in. By chance, she met Julius stepping out. He asked if she had a close attendant yet. If not, he and the green-haired guy could cover all her expenses. Mary showed immense gratitude, thinking secretly, another handsome pet to add. In a world where girls can openly keep lovers by their side, how amazing. Angelica, upon learning the prince was helping find slaves for her lover, was furious. Growing up together, giving him her heart, loving him so deeply, yet now outdone by some unworthy girl. At that moment, in Leon's place, his sister burst through the door with fiery determination. In essence, their conversation was Jenna wanting to ensure Leon wasn't involved in the Angelica and Prince affair. One day, Julius will ascend. One day, Julius will ascend to the throne, and being favored by him means a life of comfort. Conversely, if hated, it's the end of your life. She came to remind him not to get tangled in this. After Jenna left, Leon leaned back and lay down. Luxon flew over, and he asked about the info on Mary. Mary was still sticking with Julius. He asked if she had a dress for the ball. Mary shyly said she hadn't prepared one, so Julius took charge. Grand balls like this are prime chances for guys like Leon to find marriage prospects. Despite his resolve, throughout the ball, no one wanted to connect with someone of humble rural origins, and he even got beaten. Peace doesn't exist where two lions clash. Angelica faced the 5 men and Mary, constantly explaining she only wanted the best for him, but Julius wouldn't listen. The excuses had been repeated countless times. He was already bored. Seeing Mary hold another man's hand, she went to remind him. Unexpectedly, someone spoke up first. Mary treated everyone so well. He thought she had saved them all, so Mary deserved absolute protection. Julius declared boldly before all students that he loved Mary the most. Words once spoken can't be taken back, silently confirming the engagement with Angelica was beyond saving. In the moment things spiraled out of control, Ang threw his glove at Mary, signifying a challenge. Picking it up means accepting the duel. As per the story, the one with the highest affection would accept the challenge for the heroine. Julius urged Mary to pick it up. He'd represent her. The others, including the beast tamers, fully supported it. Leon recalled choosing an outsider to represent. The result was a crushing defeat, leading to marriage with a vile rural landlord and days of humiliation. It seems his meddling spirit overcame his desire to stay as a background character. Though not close to Angelica, Leon couldn't stand the over-the-top heroism of those before him, so he volunteered to represent her. Leon guessed the current situation. That girl named Mary was also from another world, transported in. His reasoning was solid, based on info from Luxon. Angelica's demand was for Mary to stop approaching Julius. Mary wanted her to end this mess, saying using power to control others is wrong. Leon smirked inwardly. Her lines weren't as smooth as his. The rule is to duel in borrowed armor at the arena, 1-on-1, 5 rounds total. So confident that even the 5 opponents doubted themselves. Leon's room was vandalized with messy paint scrawls on the walls. Luxon recorded it all. Unexpectedly, Daniel and John helped with the paint. Their little friendship paled against their future prospects. Olivia worried he was getting into too much trouble, advising him to withdraw and avoid deeper fallout. She knew his room was defaced and couldn't bear to leave him enduring it. Even her family scolded her for starting this foolish duel, risking house arrest or exile to the seas, losing all power. Leon clarified, he wasn't joining for the Duke's benefits. He just wanted to thrash them and end their silly engagement games. Angelica thought she must have misheard. Otherwise, he must have serious issues. Leon sighed. He was fighting because victory was clear. She was the one who sparked it all. Of course, Leon wasn't crazy enough to duel bare-handed against foes. He had a plan ready. The duel day arrived. Olivia came to encourage him. The arena was set. Cheers echoed down to the field. Leon stepped out, met only with boos. He turned and hissed at the blind crowd. Spotting a red ticket in his pocket, it turned out Daniel and John bet on his win, making Leon's lips curl in a satisfied smile. You hid it well. I had no idea. Olivia panicked because she couldn't see his armor anywhere. He calmed her, saying to stay composed. Finally, his armor arrived, landing without cheers instead. His opponents mocked it. Leon didn't banter back, just smiled smugly. In under 6 minutes, who'd come out on top? Ang sat high up, explaining to Olivia, that armor looks bulky, but nowadays everyone values speed and agility. Heavy mechs are outdated. Still, Ang felt it wasn't as simple as it seemed. The first match against Brad, who's arrogant with the weakest skills of the 5. But he's boastful, always charging first. That flaw nearly doomed Leon for ages. Facing Brad, he kept bragging non-stop. Leon found it amusing. He prepared carefully, commanding Luxon to draw the first sword from the chest. But Luxon selectively heard and pulled out a shovel. Though not a sword, it was the first item. First, Leon didn't argue with the machine. Or retort. A shovel it is. Experts don't blame their tools. Brad thought he was provoking him, though Leon truly didn't mean to. Believe it or not, after introducing themselves, Brad arrogantly said he'd take him down in one blow. Unfortunately, as he unleashed his ultimate weapon, Leon dodged. Instead, he got hit with the shovel and lay still. The entire academy was stunned. Leon was too. He knew he was weak, but this was too much. The first round, Leon won undisputed. Because everyone was in disbelief, the only applause echoing in the stands came from the etiquette teacher. He couldn't hold back his laugh, not caring about face for the opponent. Leon was truly mischievous. The next match, against the spiky-haired Greg. With minimal gear, high combat skills, and confidence, he caused Leon game overs many times. This time, on his warhorse, he'd make him pay or change his name. At the start, Leon let Greg attack first. Then he countered relentlessly, striking until he fell, severing his right arm and the corresponding leg of the armor. Greg exited the cockpit, wanting to fight hand to hand. But seeing his tin can look, Leon wasn't interested. Victory was decided. He added taunts, like how the enemy team lacks awareness and bullies the weak. It made Greg, already furious, even madder. The second round, another undisputed win. The audience was now 3 parts disappointed, 7 parts confused. Chris stepped up for the third round, a young swordsman always calm. Perhaps that's why his emotional expression was lacking, stubbornly using a sword in battle. Leon dodged, then deployed a drone for distant attacks. In his hand, he crushed the third. Chris swung his sword, but Leon grabbed it tightly, crushing it to pieces. The third enemy continued their team's string of defeats. He said, "If disappointed, go cry to Mary. She might sympathize." Spotting the weakness, he teased. He was truly cruel. The arena's atmosphere didn't change much, just more groans. The fourth round was about to start. Realizing Leon's combat prowess, the opponent played dirty, having Jenna plant a bomb in his armor. Aang and Olivia were lured away to search for Leon. Once they knew he was safe, they calmed down. Luxon informed Leon his armor was tampered with. The mastermind was the fourth opponent. His sister directly planted the bomb. Instead of anger, Leon remained composed. Challenging the royalty put Jenna in a tough spot, and they exploited that. He understood and wouldn't blame his sister. The match began. The opponent didn't pretend to be honorable, throwing a smoke bomb and magic bullets. Leon's armor showed no damage. Out of options, he detonated the bomb. Obviously, Leon was safe and recorded his confession. Done. The fourth round turned to gold. 4 wins in a row. The next opponent, the noble Prince Julius. His last words before leaving, "Don't worry, my armor is the most advanced in the kingdom." Mary's heart burned, but she had to act trusting. The prince promised glory, declared boldly, then lost better not to speak. After the tragedy, the audience pinned their last hopes on the prince. He asked Julius, "What do you think of the girl named Olivia?" Julius hadn't interacted with her at all, so he had no thoughts. The two received the order to fight. Even called the kingdom's strongest, it was just a slight edge. In close combat, Leon easily asked Julius, "What's it like to truly love someone?" Julius thought Leon had fallen for her. He didn't know she truly loved him, thinking she was like other women, after his status. Julius started preaching morals, questioning how Leon felt humiliating others. But Leon wasn't a fool to fall for such nonsense. In this era, he had no conscience burdens with these people. Victory is victory. He had the right to be proud since they couldn't touch him. Conversely, what about not wanting to be born into royalty? Has Julius ever tasted being sold to a 50-year-old woman just to die, or part of the feeling of bowing to women while they ruin tea parties, even getting thrown out for greetings? Has Julius ever thought of that? The Academy's men felt their hearts laid bare, tears welling up. Julius wouldn't give up. He said, "Without Mary, life isn't worth living, so might as well fight to the end." Every word Angelica heard clearly. She sat with her head bowed, crying. Olivia couldn't stand such reasoning, standing up and shouting. She affirms Angelica's love for the prince is real, no matter the pain. She still watches the fight. If it's not true love, then it's Julius who can't see. She shouted so loudly, no amplifier needed. Leon heard it. Julius held firm to his view, hoping Angelica stays away. The fight won't end until one falls. On the surface, he says, "Whatever," not needing the title, but his words always oppress the prince, demanding life or death stakes. Where does he get the right? After ensuring the pilot's safety, Leon releases the final lock on Natan's armor. Julius toys with his top on the floor. In the fifth match, the victor is still Batford. Upon returning, Julius lies on his bed, confiding in her. His favorite dish isn't the fancy feast he boasts about, but simple skewers from the market stalls. Every time he sneaks into town for fun, only Mary notices that truth. She leads him on adventures, sharing secrets, and savoring things he's never experienced. If not Mary, then no one else could. He could never love her. Leon pleads with the Duke's family for help, hoping they can clean up the mess after the battle. Any titles or honor, she'll return them all. He wants no more entanglement in this chaos. Her father asks him to take her to a peaceful town for a few days, to help her recover from Julius's incident. The deal is struck. The three pack up and head home on the flying ship. Angelica's spirit is utterly broken, blaming herself for never thanking Leon, only obsessing over the prince. Leon knew it all along, but if they hear his grand speeches and build expectations, it'll only cause trouble, so he stays silent, as words won't fix anything. His father is stressed over his son not only challenging noble families but also bringing the duke's daughter home. Without Leon here, Zur vents all his fury. Now, it's harming the whole family, leaving everyone in panic. Without Leon around, Zur unleashes all his anger on their poor father. Soon, Angelica arrives. He barely says 2 words before realizing she's the duke's daughter and quickly backs away, fearing more trouble with every second. Leon takes Anne and Olivia out to see the wonders he's built. He guides them to relaxing hot springs. Asks Olivia if she's Leon's lover. She replies that she shares a special bond with him, but in matters of the heart she thinks Leon favors Angelica more. Fresh from the bath, Ang sits chatting with Olivia. The air brims with happiness. Olivia says, "You can call me Livia, everyone in the house does." Angelica can call her Ang too, in a friendly way. Ang can't shake her grudge against Mary, yearning for revenge. Leon replies, "If you want revenge, just live happily, that's enough." The engagement is broken. See it as a fortunate escape. In the kingdom beyond of the 5 excluding Julius, all are disowned by their families, becoming idle wanderers lost in love. The only one left standing can't be with her anymore. It's poetic justice, no more lavish life for them in the years ahead. How will they survive? The royal family spirals into crisis, everything in disarray. Luckily, Leon's family escapes any linked blame. He brings good news. Leon is promoted to 6th rank court noble, granted directly by Julius's parents. Facing the one who outmatched their son, the king's heart must be a storm of emotions. The palace acknowledges this. Her academy days are ruined, and finding a marriage match grows ever harder. He receives intel from Elson. Mary's group hasn't split up. Without family support, they're scraping for money while training to defeat Leon. They seem content, except Leon feels thrilled hearing it. Tonight, something lets him sleep soundly. For his first school festival, Leon busily prepares everything meticulously. Livia and Anne step out, dressed in maid outfits for the party. The scene looks stunning, but as a background character, where does he get the luck to enjoy it? Daniel and Raymond gaze at the 2 beauties, as if in a dream. Then Jenna bursts in. He has nothing to say to her. Jenna comes to vent about arguing with her friend. Leon guesses it's over fighting for a guy, but instead of her friend stealing from her, she's the one snatching. With no patience for someone who can't tell right from wrong, Leon sends her away. Olivia thinks Jenna shouldn't act like that. Jenna shouts that she has no right to interfere. He's warned that if she touches Olivia, he won't let it slide. Jenna reluctantly falls silent and leaves. The wind keeps blowing even when trees want calm. Who knows what breeze brought him to set up a tea party right next to Leon's? Outside, one of them, thanks to Julius, creates entry tickets for 100D. Compared to wealthy ladies ready to spend, it's just pocket change they toss around. It's a tea party outside, but inside, it's decorated like a tavern. And there are 2 familiar faces he doesn't want to see. All the tea room suggestions come from Mary. After failing in the 5-on-1 fight, even in the tea party, this group wants to compete. Livia marvels at the sky-high prices. Mary boldly declares, "Because our guests are served by royal descendants." Leon can't hold back, honestly calling Mary shameless. What audacity! The 2 sides exchange sharp words. Even as Olivia promotes the party energetically, people turn away the moment they hear the BF name. Suddenly, a girl named Clarice appears, expressing interest in joining. On the first day of the festival, before it even starts, he's called away by Julius's mother, Queen Milan. Seeing Anne's somewhat brighter face, Milan is delighted. She's here mainly to meet Leon. Julius losing his heir rights is all thanks to that boy. On the surface, his parents want to say a few words to him. Besides, she senses the academy is veering into unsettling directions. A hint of displeasure flashes in Milan's eyes. Leon and Livia sneak a glance at Julius's tea party. They suspect the crowd lining the hallway isn't there for the tea. Mary's group might be running shady dealings. Leon decides to check it out, but a group of female students blocks his way. From their unfriendly stance, they're clearly here to cause trouble. As expected, Milan Xiang steps in. She wants to confront Leon a bit, but before she can, chaos erupts inside. Leon gets a glass smashed on his head, mocked, trampled, and insulted. This person is the Duke Offer's daughter, Angelica's rival faction, so dealing with her is tough. Angelica steps in to push her away, but this one won't leave easily. She says, "Aren't you always looking down on commoners? Or is it that, with no nobles to play with, you have to mingle with the lowly?" Leon barely speaks before her people, and Milan witness it. He can't hold back, demanding she stop her rudeness. Yet, Instead of obeying, Milan is called an old hag, abusing her power, disrespecting the queen without knowing her true identity. Before Angelica can stop it, Leon explodes in fury behind her. Milen's servants boldly step forward, revealing her identity. Even if Milen wants to hide it, she can't. He borrows the banner of justice to vanquish evil, protecting the queen and unleashing his wrath. Angelica sees things escalating, so she asks the etiquette teacher to calm Leon. He was as fierce as a tiger moments ago, now as meek as a puppy admitting fault. Leon bows in apology to Milen, seeming sincere but actually teasing. Only now does he notice the queen is strikingly beautiful, not at all like someone over 30. Milan shares that she's from another kingdom, never experiencing school memories. She hopes he can help. In his past life, Leon would have called her a shameless old woman, but now, compared to the rebellious teens at school, this 30-year-old with a youthful glow is better. He takes Milan's hand and flirts boldly. Julius appears out of nowhere and knocks him on the head. He grips Milan's hand tightly, forcing Julius to use force. Leon still clings to Milan's hand, so Julius violently kicks him into the trash. Olivia doesn't pity him, she sees it as karma. Milan follows Julius to his room, bluntly mocking him for breaking his word, abandoning Mary after losing, and hosting an overpriced tea party with poor quality, scheming for coins like a miser, yet calling Leon greedy. She demands to see Mary immediately. Mary hides behind the curtains, sweating profusely. If the queen finds out she's using the future king to serve guests, her life is over. Leon keeps rambling about Milan, while Angelica bends over cleaning up. Clarice enters. Leon thinks she's a guest until Livia introduces her and gets straight to the point. Clarice kneels, begging him to save Housewave. The next morning, the atmosphere is heavily subdued. Perhaps because of yesterday's events, the Duke's daughter. Maybe because of yesterday, the Duke's daughter said those hurtful words, crushing both their spirits, leaving things awkwardly tense. Leon suggests giving the two a day off. He has another way to earn money, posted on the board. Everyone gathers to see the poster about the racing tournament. This game is always the festival's highlight. Angelica is part of the organizing committee. Du is a professional racer. Leon has the skills to join, but she thinks he's into betting. Mary sees the notice and her heart ignites. If she wins, she'll get a huge prize. She'll skip the betting games for sure. Her ex from the real world fell into debt from gambling, so in this life Mary must earn steadily. Leon sits in his room, gazing at the arena, laughing non-stop. Based on his predictions, he's raking in fortune. The race is intense and fierce. Though Jill faces dirty tricks and tight blocking, he still surges ahead, claiming first place. A glorious victory. Sadly, that last crash breaks his bones, so he can't continue. If no one replaces him, it's a disaster. Clarice steps in, mocking them. Because she's the mastermind behind that move, once JW's fiancé but abandoned. In Mary's cowering demeanor, Leon glimpses his real sister. Their personalities are strikingly similar. Mary points and orders Leon to race in his place. Deep down, it's for the prize money, but she says nobly, if you don't join, Angelica's reputation will suffer. As an organization member, failing to find a substitute will lead to gossip. Leon feels he owes Angelica's father a favor. If he causes more trouble, he might lose his head. In the end, he agrees to participate. Before the race, as usual, he exchanges words with his rival, upgrades his mount, and dives into the competition. His opponent is a devoted loyalist, Clarice's sneaky attendant. He despises those who win love and discard it like trash. Leon says, I hate handsome, devoted types like that too. Hope you'll yield. The answer, of course, is no. As the referee signals the start, the other side attacks relentlessly. These aren't just Clarice's servants. They're also those who lost bets before. Where Anne and Olivia stand, it's packed with students who hate him, reacting worse than imagined. The Duke offers daughter keeps provoking Angelica. Not content with attacking her, she turns on Olivia, claiming Angelica uses her like a guard dog. Olivia is deeply hurt, holding back tears as she runs away. That one keeps muttering insults about her, pushing to the limit. Angelica is furious, can't hold back, and slaps her hard. On the racetrack below, opponents surge ahead, fueling the crowd's hopes. The team allies behind to lead the position. Then, Leon accelerates suddenly, overtaking 1, 2, 3 opponents, dismantling the allied team behind, securing second place, then speeding to the finish, snatching victory from the sneaky one, last year's champion now in second. Cheers echo across the arena, but Leon feels triumphant. Before Du's favor, he bows respectfully, grateful to Leon, asking him to properly apologize to Clarice. Later, when apologizing to Clarice, he gets slapped, and that's the end of it with her. The matter concludes here. The sneaky one bows in thanks to Leon. He should go to Anne and Olivia's group then. Clarice says, though you look shady, you're actually kind. You should head to Anne and Olivia's group. She's caught in a conflict. Leon is startled. Olivia sits on the school bench, looking deeply sad. Leon approaches gently. I wonder if I can be friends with someone as noble as Ang. The class divide with Anne is too vast. True friendship is hard. Olivia is disappointed. She was happy to make friends at the academy, but now it's come to this, who to blame, her weakness or the harsh world? The more she speaks, the more she chokes up, finally bursting into sobs. Leon says, after the battle, Anne's attendants have dwindled. Maybe she was just casually hanging with them. Olivia retorts, Angelica isn't that kind of person. Leon smiles. You already have the answer, don't you? Why worry about others' views? The past is history, the present is what matters. Olivia sees the light. Perhaps she needs a proper talk with Angelica. They'll surely become friends. That evening, Clarice knocks on Olivia's door. What she asked him to tell BF, she actually wants Olivia involved. Your grades are good, you can surely help. Olivia hesitates. I did pass the message, but I don't want Leon tangled in this. Clarice is prepared. Behind her is the Duke's daughter, who's repeatedly troubled the BF group. She threatens, if you don't fight, I'll make those close to Olivia suffer, including Leon, BF, and Angelica. This arrogant deal is no request, it's a command. A carriage will pick you up tomorrow. She replies. Anne and Leon are strong. If threatened, they'll definitely fight back. In the end, the other side grabs her, roughly yelling insults. No matter how Olivia responds, she can't match the wicked words of that cruel woman who insists on calling her Angelica's pet. Friendship should be equal, but Olivia has nothing but her body to offer. Angelica comes from a noble, prestigious lineage. Leon is a hero in the making, soon to be granted a noble title. What do you have to compare? If you're scheming, it's only for your body. Try stripping in front of Leon to seduce him. He'd surely pounce on you without hesitation. Know your place. The next morning, in Leon's room, he's packing for the pirate hunt. These pirates are causing chaos in the territory, so Clarice asked him to handle it. Seeing Leon's skills, people usually turn to the royal family for help. But these pirates hold an item the protagonist needs. It's for Livia, who will later shine as the Saintess, requiring 3 artifacts. First, the holy bracelet hidden in a terrifying dungeon. Next, the holy necklace held by the pirates. And finally, the holy staff managed by the kingdom's temple. This event was supposed to happen in the second year, the game's climax, where the heroine gets help from her chosen allies. However, behind this request is the daughter of the Earl, not like Angelica, she's a vile schemer that even Leon must beware of. She's the one who brought the pirates, pulling the protagonist into her self-orchestrated drama. She hates Livia for being a commoner who draws attention, but in her eyes, Leon is even more of a thorn. Leon wonders if he's too focused on the game's benefits. Yet, he gets so little in return. Leon, just a bystander, wants to avoid the game's plot as much as possible. But the princes are completely unreliable. Getting dragged into a war would be a nightmare. Livia isn't strong enough to handle it alone. Leon doesn't realize his overprotection is robbing Livia of her chance to grow. The ship is ready. Are you set for battle? Partner is the ship created by Luxian. It looks like an ordinary vessel, but it's fully equipped by Luxian. Its formidable features make it unbeatable. Seeing Leon from afar, Carla quickly takes the bag from Livia. She looks a bit unwell. Leon thinks it's because their reconciliation fell apart. Carla didn't notice she asked a few people to join him against the pirates. It's no one else but Greg and Brad. Deep down, Leon doesn't want those troublemakers on his beloved partner. Brad is here because Carla is loyal to the lady of House Offie, his former fiancée, not considering the engagement. If asked for help, he can't just ignore it. As for Greg, defeating these wanted pirates means a reward. It'll help Mary a bit, so he's joining. The other 3 were pulled back by their families, so these 2 have to come along. They may seem close, but there's little real affection between them. It's all just a facade. Carla holds a small bag and makes her way to Olivia's room. Do you like it? What catches her eye is the line that hits her gaze, a messy scrawl of words sprayed all over the door. Sprayed all over the door. Calling inside, no one answers. Anxious, she knocks and encounters that scheming woman. She says she let Leon and Livia go fight the pirates. Looking so fragile, who knows if they'll return alive. Carla grabs her by the collar, lifting her up as her attendants dare not intervene. She warns her not to touch her friends. After saying that, she throws her down and walks away. If communication isn't fast enough, she'll go there herself. Mylene faces Julius. It seems he still doesn't grasp his current status. He can't even mobilize a warship, yet he wants to join the pirate hunt. Julius's knowledge is still too lacking. He might not even manage his own meals there. She's decided he must stay back now. On the ship, instead of planning strategies, these three fools are just playing cards. Leon uses cards with changeable patterns made by Luxion. The fisherman wins, and he takes several rounds. His goal is to clean out these two's money. Consider it as their ship fare. Greg turns to Brad. Your former fiancée, the daughter of House Offie, Stephanie, what kind of person is she? It's just a political marriage. They've talked less than on two hands. Brad doesn't know much. She has rumors like spending lavishly. But House Offie contributes a lot to diplomacy with the Phanos Duchy, so they don't have to fear that Black Knight. The Black Knight is the most famous warrior in the neighboring Phanos Duchy. Back in the game, Leon got shot down countless times. Countless times. Stephanie's house contributions are huge. Stephanie's contributions are huge, so the marriage couldn't be refused. Cancelling it was never easy, even for the favoured protagonist. Still, every family has its own story. Not knowing this, Leon uncovers hidden sides. Peace doesn't last. 2 pirate warships are approaching. You guys, with enemies coming, those 2 in front are just staring blankly. Leon has to face it alone, activating his armor into battle stance. These pirates are the windsack. These are just minions. The main force is elsewhere. At first, they underestimated his ancient armor. In seconds, they learned true power. In minutes, Leon wiped them out completely. In one go, the 2 below watched in awe. They admit they can't match it. The leader orders the ship to retreat immediately. Fighting that monster is like eggs against rocks. Luxion launches missiles, shattering the magic wall. The pirates panic and raise the white flag in surrender. Before absolute power, survival comes first. Victory doesn't matter. Greg stares in shock at the real battle that just unfolded. He realizes he's been just a kid pretending to be tough all along. He spares them. The person who should spare them and take Leon isn't one to enjoy killing, so he spares them, takes them along instead of destroying them. This is also to avoid future troubles. He still wants to live as normally as possible. Carla desperately taps the communication device. She can't believe those fools lost so easily. At this rate, she'll have to go all the way home. Her family knows nothing about this. As soon as they step on the island, guns surround them from all sides. Carla's father recognizes Brad and orders them to lower their weapons. Brad doesn't understand. He came here at his daughter's request. But now they're treated like this. Of course he doesn't get it. Carla quickly points the finger, blaming everything on Livia. She says her overthinking led to all this. Leon immediately steps up to defend. He says everything here is peaceful, no pirates at all. Carla panics even more. Under her father's stern questioning, she breaks down in tears and confesses everything. However, the main pirate force is still out there. He hasn't retrieved the treasure for Livia yet. Livia sits alone on the bench. Before Leon can speak, she asks why he's so kind to her. Born as a humble commoner, is it because of her body? Leon quickly dismisses it. Livia falls silent. She's not that beautiful anyway, or is it pity? While Livia wants to be friends with them, is this any different from being a pet? She's a person, not an animal. Leon steps out to reflect on what just happened. A background character tangled with the heroine and the villainess. He deserves a lesson too. This might be because he's blocking her growth. Luxion says maybe Livia really is like a pet. A cute pet who sees its owner as a friend. Leon punches Luxion, sending it flying. Brad comes to practice swordplay. He's always worried he's the weakest of the 5, fearing Mary might leave him. Faced with Leon's blunt scolding, Brad doesn't fight back. He focuses on training. Say less, train more. Leon doesn't get what that girl has that's so great that he's obsessed. Her looks aren't outstanding, and her heart is terrible. To avoid a verbal clash, he gives each a sword. Brad, full of pride, charges in wildly. In his weakest area, he gives it his all to prove himself. Leon knocks Brad's sword away. Even in 10 years, you won't beat me. Brad walks away, promising a rematch. He'll turn it around next time. Sometimes these guys make him think. Mary is out searching for one of the 3 treasures, but it's not going well. The monsters here are too fierce, leaving her breathless as she runs. In the palace, Julius discusses with Jay how to escape and find Greg. The male lead's mind isn't sharp, he finds Greg. Sadly, the male lead's mind isn't sharp. He devises a plan to sneak out of the palace quietly and secretly. By writing a letter to the palace requesting a cloak and mask. Mylene holds the request. She doesn't know whether to call this boy foolish or cleverly deceptive. Waking up to eat breakfast with a bunch of men, and unable to do anything. Brad also knows the main pirate force hasn't been fully destroyed. It was supposed to wait until the middle of the 2nd year for them to discover, but this is a good time to seize the holy necklace. So, let's go for it. The pirates attack again. Their numbers have increased a bit. Brad and Greg know they're in the way. If they don't do something, they bow and beg Leon for any broken armor, just to fight alongside. Seeing that, Leon agrees. He'll check the armors, and they can do as they wish. Livia sits in the room, regretting what she said to Leon. He's been so kind to her, and being with Angelica and Leon feels like a miracle. Expecting too much is her fault, why blame him? Suddenly, an external force shakes the entire ship compartment. Pirates declare war, firing at the ship. Luckily, it's protected by a strong shield, so there's no damage at all. Leon flies out from the back, taking down each one. Suddenly, he's ambushed. Livia worries and runs out to check. Two small robots try to stop Livia but fail. They let her pass. There, a pirate is waiting. He brushes the small robots aside like flies and reaches out to grab Livia. Brad arrives just in time to thwart the evil plan. He tells her to get inside quickly. Leon will handle the rest. They clash fiercely. Brad's armor is modified from the pirates, no match for the leader's custom one. In the end, he's beaten badly. Leon isn't idle. He must capture them alive, as one leader has useful information. Leon's focus is wavering. His reaction speed slows. At the same time, he gets word that pirates have landed on the ship, and Livia is in danger. Luckily, he sent Greg and Brad into battle. They're fighting to protect her. That's how it should be, he's just a background character. The main characters pour their hearts into protecting the heroine they love. That's the story that should unfold. However, Leon has his own mission. He switches weapons, no longer just a shovel. Instead, a high-damage blade. Now, Brad and Greg are down. The leader threatens that if she doesn't come with him, he'll kill one of them. Right then, Leon flies in and slices off the iron arm. If the one inside hadn't escaped, he'd be split in two by Leon's blade. He kneels and begs for mercy. Finally, they find the first treasure. Leon kicks him, sending him tumbling. Brad, injured, is kindly healed by Livia's magic. He says Mary has the same ability. With her, any wound heals. Gradually, Brad drifts into a deep sleep. Leon looks at the couple who should be together. They look perfect together. Truly, I should return Livia to where she belongs, Leon says. Greg did his best, I'll help carry Brad. Livia watches his retreating back, her heart stirring. Why call her that? Why not say Livia's name anymore? Got a mountain of money from the pirates for the penny. He got a mountain of money from the pirates. As for the reward, House 1 doesn't expect much, but the palace might consider it. Luxian found plenty of evidence that Stephanie is behind this. He thinks of Livia. He knows she doesn't hate him, just that her spirit is unstable. How to format it, Leon Bartford knows his place. After all these events, perhaps it's time to put it back on track, as a background character witnessing the protagonist's romance like everyone else. The Redgrave ship has arrived. If Angelica gets involved, let them handle it. Leon has finished what he needed to do. Brad and Greg stand before the reward. Normally it should be Leon's, but now they're taking it. This is like making him steal credit. Leon says he was just supporting them. He'll even deal with their families, using this to reconsider inheritance rights, leaving Brad and Greg stunned. As for Stephanie, the court will handle it properly. In their hands, she'll learn her lessons. Angelica is furious, puzzled as to why Olivia is in tears. You've paid dearly for your own lesson with that stinging slap. Up to now, you've grown too close to them. It's time to pull away. Deep in every heart, secrets quietly linger. Where will this bond ultimately lead? The next day, holding the promotion notice from upper 6 to lower 5, she trembles uncontrollably. Those two ringleaders only bring him endless trouble. Thanks to them, returning to a normal life is tough. He's now 2 ranks above his own father. Additionally, a letter arrived at Asley's house, Clarice's family. An apology and thanks for the disturbances over the past time. As compensation, a flying car and a recommendation letter for promotion to upper 5. It was sent along with Leon. Utterly desperate. Climbing ranks in the game was never this easy. Fate truly loves to toy with him. Tomorrow is the school enrollment day. Now, even a quick trip to relax is out of the question. Misfortune keeps piling up, as always. He looks utterly defeated. The academy finds it strange. They don't know Leon not only rejects that title but despises it. The girls are glued to him with their eyes. A country bumpkin getting promoted is worth aiming for after all. Leon knows they're only after his status, not his heart. He's even more frustrated. If anyone wants it, he begs to run away. Soon, the annual school field trip event will take place. The 3 grade levels are divided into 3 groups, like in the game, heading to conquest sites with targets. It can boost affection at those spots and earn some useful items. He can't go with those 2 because he must go with Anne and Olivia. It's different from the field trips at schools Leon once knew. On the luxurious cruise ship, there's even a water slide service. If he gets a chance, he wants to test drive the flying car that arrived this morning. In short, if he hopes for a stable marriage, this is the best opportunity. The conquest targets are here, drawing girls to swarm around Leon once more. His heart urges him, why not go to Olivia? Then he sighs deeply. It's no longer something he can interfere with if he wants to. Olivia wanders the fair alone, remembering Leon and Angelica. If the 3 strolled together, it would be so joyful. Fate brings them together unexpectedly at the Temple of Prayer. Before the temple, Leon slams down a large sum of money, wishing for a marriage partner who obeys perfectly. She might wish for a good man. What about Livia? That's fine, as long as she's happy, anyone will do. Afterward, they receive 3 talismans. Leon is overjoyed. These are treasures, like random loot from the game. Talismans of fortune, combat, and attributes. To get these, he schemed to reach the southern floating island on the trip. Leon forgets it's for 3 people. Olivia suggests it. She doesn't have to take one, but Leon isn't stingy. Since we're here, let's open them together. Leon prays like a lottery draw, getting the combat talisman. He gets the red attribute talisman. Olivia gets the white one, perfect for everyone. This is quite good. The talisman boosts close combat skills and adds physical stats, though its form is a bit different from the game. Until the day back to the academy, Leon doesn't go to the dungeon for the holy bracelet. Luxion guesses it's because he didn't get that talisman. As for Marie, she's clearly aiming to steal the heroine's spot. But if she plans to play the game properly, I believe she won't do anything more foolish. If it leads to war, it'll be disastrous. Chris approaches, suggesting another sword duel between them. Leon scoffs, while Brad accepts the challenge in his weakest field. You're using your best sword skill for this fight, Chris explains, but sadly, Leon doesn't care. Suddenly, alarm bells ring from above. Strange warships dive down, led by the emblem of the Phanos Principality. It was once a duchy under the kingdom, but later became an independent nation. Normally, they're endgame enemies, but something must have accelerated events, making them appear early. On the large ship, Leon spots a girl, Gertrude Ang. He's met her once before. Gertrude is the crown princess of the principality, now officially declaring war. In 1 hour, choose death or surrender. Her goal is to capture the noble heirs as hostages. They're surrounded. Only barons and above are kept, while commoners and beastkin are expendable. Angelica steps forward to protect everyone's lives, making the sacrifice. Leon can't stop her because 2 other students hold him back. What a bunch of rich cowards with no conscience. He's looked down on, trampled by Garrett, who orders the royal bloodlines to teach him a lesson. The survivors don't dare fight back at all. Without hesitation, they rush in to punch and kick. Gertrude hopes to stop this madness, humbly begging him. Garrett mocks and refuses. As she's taken away, Livia is terrified. She cries out in danger. The female students hold her back mercilessly, and Olivia faces her fate. Leon is thrown into prison. Livia is desperate. She's useless, can't save anyone, and can't free Leon. Greg informs him that the Principality's envoy said only Angelica is needed as a hostage. In 1 hour they'll attack. There are 6 armors on the ship total. He and Leon can go out to buy time. Leon hates being the one left behind. At worst, they'll all die together. Leon adds that he's not good enough to save freeloaders. If they act, everyone must join forces. Chris calls for all students to rise and fight. But this group has 0 morals and 0 backbone. Even with such justice, they're met with waves of opposition, blaming Chris and each other. Only the gunshot from Leon's hand silences the curses. Silence. Batford's rank is lower 5, higher than the instructors here. Leon orders that everyone must fight, or accept their fate and perish together. He says he'll definitely join the battle. Because he's a true noble, unlike those half-hearted ones, his words successfully stir their royal pride. The daughter of Earl Jose Spread steps forward, demanding an apology. Excluding dukes, her family is the most powerful here. He scoffs at such pretense. Her ancestors served the nation, but calling her descendants cowards isn't wrong. A pile of people ignored it when she was taken. What right do they have to boast about noble lineage? His words grow more fiery. Those without pride or the adventurer's legacy are just cowards hiding behind the dead's glory. All the past heroes' deeds are overshadowed by these fools' disgrace. If you're truly descendants of adventurers, prove it. That sky-high pride reveals their true self-respect. Finally, he awakens their courage and desire to fight for survival. Chris captures 2 messengers, Angelica's former servants. They're locked in prison, awaiting judgment back home. Now, his mission is to rescue her. Over there, they quickly reveal the ultimate Wapona flute wielding unmatched power. Lion schemes, after the rescue, to seize the chance. Lion schemes that, after rescuing them, he'll conveniently grab the magic flute below. Everyone's preparations are set. Gris leads the defense of the ship. They all unite in battle. Today, even if they shatter, they'll tell future generations of their bravery, but surviving is best. Leon's vehicle flies through heavy defenses, approaching Gertrude's position. It startles her, forcing her to use the flute again. The princess sees the top students fighting and finds it ridiculous. Just surrender. Isn't that better? They speak up to defend their honor. We're descendants of great ones, naturally stronger than you think. They're coming to show their will as you wanted, and leading is the kingdom's strongest knight, Leon of BF. Garrett smirks as the cannon prepares to fire. Everything will burn, including those unexpected monsters. The students, especially the boys, handle the monsters well. Leon thought it would be much harder. He explains it's the adventurer bloodline. To win their brides, they trained daily. By graduation, they became skilled knights through tears and trials. The students handle the small fries on their own. Chris orders from above. Ignore the minors, focus on the main target. Olivia actively uses magic to heal. Garrett activates the fortress, the ship is hit, and students won't survive if struck. The fire draws nearer. At that moment, Olivia unleashes her hidden power, creating a sturdy shield around the ship. From the shield, beams destroy the enemy monsters. They marvel, she's truly a scholarship student with exceptional magic talent. Leon didn't expect Olivia to be this strong without the Saintess. It proves her studies are very effective. He can fight freely without worrying about the back. The precious time Olivia gives can't be wasted. Leon finds the shortest path into the enemy ship. The way leads through the beast's maw. As Garrett leaps, Leon smashes the floor, appearing behind and shooting down the women in the room, then punching the old man. Gertrude realizes she underestimated him and tries to stall. Leon shows no mercy, shooting the scheming maid behind her. Her flute is fake. The real magic flute is with the maid. He bends down, discovering Leon's bullets are rubber, causing only unconsciousness. The princess's position swaps. She becomes the hostage taken to the vehicle. Leon, the ship monster, is defeated. He must leave quickly. Enemies see her captured and scold him for being unchivalrous. Leon doesn't care, shouting back. Look at yourself in the mirror first. A small flower blooms in the group's heart, hugging Leon and laughing. Garrett wakes up and announces the princess's heroic sacrifice, launching a full attack. Hostages never stop the principality from fighting. If not her, someone else will replace. The commander unleashes the monsters by breaking their seals. Losing control, they'll return to their former master soon. The monsters are coming. This is all or nothing. Win or lose, no regrets. Olivia has used all her strength. If they continue, she'll have to use that magic again, and she definitely won't endure it. Stalling is the best option. She watches Leon. Can she do anything to help? Suddenly, fire spears shoot from Anne. The talisman is activating at the right time. Angelica runs to Olivia, helps her up. Olivia, exhausted, finally feels she can support you and Leon. No longer a burden. Anne understands Livia's feelings, hugs her. I've always valued Livia from the heart. You're my most precious friend. Never once saw Olivia as a burden. As misunderstandings clear, a cannon blasts a huge hole in the ship. Anne is thrown by the impact. She clings with one hand, not regretting her fate, only wishing she'd expressed her feelings sooner. As she lets go, Livia grabs her hand. Falling is fine. Dying doesn't matter. Livia refuses to let go. If she can't save Angelica now, she'll die with the ship. Another shake. Livia pulls Angelica up, but falls herself. Leon quickly flies in to save her, holding her close. Livia trusted he'd arrive in time, but why does he call her Olivia and not Livia? Leon says they can't be together. She'll meet a handsome, wealthy man, marry, and live happily. Leon says they can't be together. Livia is angry in front of him. Why keep talking about other men? Julius made her cry. She hates that engaged phrase. Brad is self-centered. Greg is hot-tempered. Chris craves attention. In short, she likes no one. She only loves Leon and wants to live joyfully with Angelica. Leon doesn't know how to respond. He hugs her and returns to Angelica. Partner is on the field, though a bit late. 2 cannons destroy 2 enemy warships. Fully equipped, now I'll show you true destruction. Garrett refuses to retreat. Losing the princess, the magic flute, and to Kid Show, can he face anyone? But he still has the principality's pride, the Black Knight Van Dark. Leon fights like a machine, at full power, with swift movements. P-net activates. Lifeboats return to pick up academy students. After everyone evacuates, they'll withdraw. But it's not that simple. The enemy is rushing in at breakneck speed. Van Dark's glorious history. He single-handedly destroyed dozens of Kingdom warships, long before they were born. The giant dodges all of Leon's drones, smashing them to pieces. Compared to the armors Lux and Leon fought, this one is far superior. His combat skills are seasoned. Van Dark slashes the armor, exposing Leon inside. The D-armor's efficiency drops by 1/3, increasing the pilot's strain. Leon urges you to turn back while you still can. It's the edge of safety. The cost of battling without taking lives, as Leon chose, is that the enemy sees no need to retreat. The situation hangs by a thread. Leon still refuses to activate the full armor, knowing it would kill the Black Knight. If direct combat fails, it's time for clever tactics. You deliberately let Van Den's sword pierce the armor, then Leon slips out from within. The foe thinks you've surrendered, calling a truce, but not at all. The empty armor keeps moving as if alive, even opening Van Den's cockpit, giving Leon the chance to turn the tide. That armor is part of Luxon. It's a paid item, and Leon takes great pride in it. The area around the parent has been secured. If needed, you can leave directly. Garrett stubbornly fires one last shot, hoping to destroy all evidence completely. Before dying, he wants to avoid being recorded as a useless, nameless fool, losing to a mere child. That was a special flare shot, used to gather monsters more effectively than a magic flute. High in the cloudy skies, monsters appear, swarming the heavens like a chaotic festival. But Leon doesn't need to step in anymore. Luxon can handle it. From above, beams of blue light rain down, burning everything in utter astonishment. From now on, the neighboring kingdom will face eternal shame from this defeat. The cowardly Garrett kneels, begging Leon for his life. Leon's terms are simple: just hand over all the functional armor and the entire fleet in good condition. For the ships that can't move, feel free to strip them down and take everything, even the scraps. You're heartlessly ruthless. No one would dare claim second if you're first. Garrett has no choice but to accept it all, tears streaming down. The reason Leon didn't defeat Van Den with the full armor is that it would cause massive shockwaves. Not just the enemy, but even his own kingdom might react strongly. He doesn't want to get tangled in such troubles. He still wants to stay as an ordinary bystander. Leon stands at his room's door but is blocked by two robots. Since Marie and Olivia are sleeping inside, he quietly closes the door to let them rest. The victory over Van Den, Leon credits entirely to Chris. When asked, he replies it's a political matter that can't be taken lightly. Chris's family, the LL house, has no choice but to withdraw their disownment of him. Leon introduces Luxon to the two. Livia finds him utterly adorable and nicknames him LOL. Leon, always the freeloader, gets reminded to take care of himself. Angelica warns Leon that the Mary group is plotting something. It turns out they've assembled a massive robot, pieced together from parts of 5 different armors, costing a whopping 500,000 Rhea. Mary hears the value of that scrap heap and feels a stabbing pain in her heart. This foolish group is not only stubborn but also seriously lacking in smarts. The stands are packed with excited spectators. Those with faith still hope for the prince's side to win. Anyway, this time he's planning to lose. The battle condition is that if he falls, he won't interfere in their affairs. No stable nerves if Mary's group has no stable nerves at all. If they want Mary to win like that, just let them have their way. Those 5 aren't worthy of Livia. Before he can figure out how to lose gracefully, Luxon detects the armor's abnormal heat and chaotic power source. This state is already impressive if it can even move. Kind-hearted Luxon warns Leon to tell Greg to get out before it explodes. As usual, Leon isn't exactly known for his good deeds, so no one believes the warning. With no other option, Luxon decides to blow up the armor. If left alone, Greg would likely perish inside. An unexpected victory. Now, the whole school sees him as some kind of villain. Leon has no idea why he has to wear formal attire, until he hears he's being awarded a medal for capturing the sea princess alive. Leon is stunned and quickly tries to find a way out before the award ceremony. He wishes it were all just a dream, waking up back on the first day of school. The teacher steps forward to pin the medal on him. Leon, with BF's great contributions, is granted the title of Viscount, now bearing an even heavier burden amid thunderous applause. Mary grits her teeth. He's just a background character. Watch closely. How long can you stay arrogant? Once I collect the 3 treasures, I'll officially become the main character. Leon meets Olivia outside. She boldly admits she loves him, no matter what the future holds. Feelings can't be hidden. Leon should decide too. No matter what happens, he wants to stay with Angelica and Olivia to live freely in this Atomi world. The journey of Viscount Leon BF is likely far from over. But for now, living to fulfill his desires isn't such a bad thing.